when we're working in a brand new car like this one, this is a 2020, we don't know if they change the location of the screws. They normally carry the location from the previous model, but right now we don't know. It's good to know and just start looking around for the screws. For example, right here, it seems like this is a removable panel, like this one here. Sometimes they put screws behind those handles. This one seems like it's a full piece. We're gonna grab skinny plastic pry tool, and in the bottom it's a groove. So you just pry it out, be careful, and that's a screw behind it. And the top, same thing. Normally they put screws behind the door handle. Now we're gonna use this. And we have 3 screws right now. We're gonna take it out. It's a regular Phillips screw. Now that you take the screws out, start looking around. This cell panel actually goes on top of the door. Start from the bottom, carefully. Have the door out, disconnect all the plugs. In this particular car, it only has 2 plugs, the light and the window switchers, and of course your cables. We have our factory 6x9 speaker.
This is the factory speaker. This funky shape, neo-magnet, 100% plastic. Now what happens is, earlier versions of these magnets would get so hot they would actually fall off and this would crack and they would break. If you ever get a speaker and like you shut the door and all of a sudden you have no audio, sometimes the magnets actually fall off the back. To replace those, we're gonna be using these guys here. These are the Kenwood KFC XP6902Cs. There's also a 03 version, which comes with a 3.5. This is the 2.5. Inside the box, instructions, warranty, these plates are what make these awesome. Depending on what type of car you have, these plates are going to allow you to do different things. If we flip over to the back of the box, you'll see there's an option for Toyotas where you break off certain pieces of this. There's 3 different Toyotas, 2 different Chevys. If you have a full-size Chevy pickup, that's what these brackets are down here. There's also an option for Dodge. But if you compare this to this and set one over the top, you'll notice that some of the holes line up, and this will allow us to put this into this vehicle. Back inside the box, obviously there's 2 of these. There's some foam to go around the front of the speakers, kind of like a fast ring. The drivers themselves. One of the unique things about these is whether you have the amplified premium system or not, these are both, you can use them in either one. If you'll notice here on the speaker, it says low pass and it says bypass. If you're going to be using the amplifier, connect to the bypass. If you're going to use them like we are now, connect them to low pass. That'll allow the crossovers built into these guys here to function. The little 2.5-inch drivers, these are what we like to call middlers, meaning it's like a mid-range that plays up into the tweeter frequencies. There's crossovers for those located right here. These will attach to this speaker. There's some foam for the crossovers in case you're going to put them in an area you don't want them to rattle. There's more foam for the back side of the speaker when attaching it to the bracket. Speaking of brackets, there's just a regular 1/4-inch 6x9 spacer. This is helpful for Dodges. More bags of foam, some wired ends with the female connectors on them for the 6x9s, a whole bunch of screws, more foam to go onto these for the back side where this is going to attach to the car. Lots of foam in these. I'm gonna get these over to Fernando so he can get them into the car.
Have the factory speaker out. It's 2 10mm and 2 10mm for the bracket. You only have to take the 2 10mm for the speaker.
For the dash speaker, this is the dash speaker here. It still has this extra bracket on it. These will come unscrewed, and then these here will go in and line up with those same screws and go back into the dash. One thing to keep in mind, see how this connector here, see how it has this big shape, 2 wires coming off the back. There's 4 pins in here. A lot of the times in Toyotas, what happens is the sound comes out of the radio up into the dash to this, and then out of the dash into the door. If you don't reuse this plug, which is simple enough to do, it just unsnaps from the back of this speaker, and then you can cut these 2 wires and reattach them to your crossovers. The door speaker won't play. I'm gonna get these over to Fernando so we can get them into the car.
We already put some foam in the back. And everything is done. Now I have to roll the window up so I can start putting the sound treatment. Some of these cars, the door switches actually comes out, and this one is screwed in. I'm gonna plug everything back in, well, just the switcher, so we can roll the window up. We're gonna do sound treatment in the whole door. We're gonna remove this water barrier. Don't pull it out because you're gonna break it. Don't break the back, Fernando. Grab a knife, slowly, take your time. Pull the complete piece. Put it on like a safe place so it's not gonna get stuck. Have this foam. It's weird, I never see that before, that has 2 screws. I believe it's something like a crash protection. So we're gonna remove it, and then we're gonna reinstall it as soon as we finish with the sound treatment. Has just double-sided tape. When you're doing sound treatment, if you have an older model, sometimes dirt, water stays right here in this area. Grab a rag or paper and start cleaning it. This one is pretty clean.
For the sound treatment in this car, we're gonna be using the Ground Zero GZDM Door Kit Pro. This is the new version of the kit. Let's take a look inside. This kit is designed for 2 doors. It comes with a basic overview in the box. On top, there are 2 pieces of aluminum. These are designed to go inside the door first, around where the speaker is, to help make the metal more rigid. Then we have 4 pieces of acoustical foam. This is designed to go onto the actual door panel itself, the door card that's facing the inside of the door. 2 pieces of closed cell 3/16, maybe 1/8 inch foam. This is designed to go behind where the speaker is in the door. 2 pieces. 8 pieces of the butyl backed with aluminum on the front here. It's thinner than this aluminum here, but it's got the butyl. What you're gonna end up doing is this is gonna go on first, this is gonna go on top of that, and then this is gonna go on top of that in the main door area where your speaker is going to be. The rest of the area around it, of course, is just gonna be covered in the regular butyl style insulation. There's 4 sheets per door, 8 total. Let's get started.
The first thing we're gonna install is the aluminum. We're gonna start cutting. Before you start peeling off the plastic so you can stick it in the door, I like to mock up where it's gonna go and just make the shape. Now you can see it's kind of an angle. Grab your roller. Don't push it too hard because you don't want to dent the door. So sometimes the roller doesn't get into the corner. That's the reason why I like the plastic panels, because they small. Just want to push it a little bit. The next piece will be the butyl back. I like to cut it in half. This is a little bit more easy to work on. It's flexible.